Israel's Internal Security Service, the Shin Bet, began an investigation after it was alerted that a routine security check found that one of the several travel mugs gifted by the Chinese embassy here in Israel to Israeli government offices contained a suspicious part. After further investigation, it was conducted that the parts were completely innocent. It was a hell of a story. Bentsi Benatar, co-founder of Sepio, is here with me. And Bentsi, at the end of the day, this wasn't an espionage case, but these parts do exist in the real world.
For sure. And just going back, many years before, the original malicious gift was the Trojan horse. That is a very known term in cybersecurity. So gifts were always an attack vehicle when you want to reach into a certain classified or sensitive, or want to get espionage or inside information.
So, but we saw it dozens of years ago. We saw the Russians give the Americans in Moscow things that at the end of the day were used to tap, etc., etc. But current world is more complicated, and by cyber, you can reach anywhere from everywhere, so you don't have to actually have a physical thing.
You're totally right, and I actually brought a couple of examples to illustrate that. So for example, this cable, which looks like an innocent charging cable called a USB Ninja cable, actually impersonates a legitimate keyboard, and when you connect it into your a mobile device or to your laptop, it actually provides remote access to an external attacker who could be sitting in the parking lot or in the building next by, and provide him with the capability of bypassing all the existing cybersecurity measures, and instead of doing a standard phishing attack, it will actually turn the endpoint of the user to a certain IP address that a malicious attack is waiting to be conducted.
So that's one example, and the second one?
The second one is a power bank. So obviously, if you would be given as a giveaway in a show or in a conference, you will be given a power bank, and we always argue that power bank is like love; you could never have enough of. But actually, in this power bank, there's a concealed a rubber ducky device where you put half the battery. So it would still work as a charging device, but again, a rubber ducky device that will impersonate as a keyboard and will have the same effect as this one.
So Bentsi, the thing you're saying is I need a physical thing, because there are some places that are guarded so well and are disconnected from the outside world. I do have to penetrate them physically by such tools or others. That's what you're saying.
Correct. And sometimes we get pushbacks, people bragging about that their physical security is, you can't get in, everything is scanned and X-ray. And then on one occasion, I've asked a data center manager, I've asked him, okay, what happens if I bring a fire extinguisher and I conceal the attack tool inside the fire extinguisher? Obviously, X-raying this will not bring you any value. It stands next to the rack in the data center, so it has the proximity to the targeted devices, and you can't really detect that. So attackers understood that there's an easy way in, and by using the hardware devices as an attack tools, they can bypass a lot of security measures.
But this mugs case, which at the end of the day was innocent, is an example that the simpler you get, the bigger chance you have to penetrate in, because it looks innocent.
Yeah, so there's like two poles for that. So you either go very simple, like a charging cable or a mug or something like that, or you go extremely expensive, mainly artwork. Because the first thing that they've done after X-ray, they've kind of destroyed the entire mug. But if it was an artwork, let's say that she was given a statue with a plaque or something like that, they wouldn't have destroyed it, and it would make their life much more complicated.
So let's talk about your solutions at Sepio.
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're actually verifying that the device is what it says it is. So in the mug case, it was very simple because there were just like 1.5 components. But think of a laptop, or think of a switch, or a router.
Have thousands of components.
Yeah, with thousands of components, there's no real way of identifying it. And what we're doing is that we're diving into the physical layer, and we're using a new data source, which is the physical layer, to identify and validate the true nature of that device.
Interesting. Bentsi Benatar, Sepio, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.